guys, and welcome to How to Play Toribash. My name is Con, and this episode is about understanding your Tori. Basically, your character that you have to move around to beat your opponent up. So yeah, first of all, if you're a new player, you should obviously go to the fight school, which you can find right over here where my mouse is pointing. Click the fight school, do the Toribash tutorial, the basic training, the advanced moves, but don't challenge Yuke yet. We'll get to challenge Yuke in a future episode. So let's go back. After you've done those few tutorials, you will basically have picked up a little bit of knowledge on how to control things, how things work, and you can find your own playstyle if you want to use the mouse wheel to change joints, if you want to click to change joints, if you want to use the keyboard, shortcut keys X, Z, and C, basically to like move your Tori around, but that's up to you. This is what you'll be figuring out. So let's discuss joints. So we're going to go into free play directly. So here is my Tori. He is a black and white character here with particles floating above his head. That's great. So first thing you're probably asking is, what is a joint? If you didn't figure this out in the tutorials, a joint are these ball things here connected to all different parts of my body. And basically they control and move my body around. Like the knee would lift up my knee or bend it backwards, just different things like that. So in general, we'll be discussing each particular joint in question. So each joint has 4 states. Basically a relaxed state, which my whole body is in right now. As you can see, my body in the ghost form is falling down. That's because it's relaxed. All the muscles and joints are relaxed and I'm basically like asleep, just falling down. If I click C, it will hold all. This will basically make my body stiff and rigid, like I'm basically in shock or something, and my whole body just doesn't want to move. So this will make it very difficult for me to bend. And then apart from that, you get 2 other movements. We'll use this demonstrating on the shoulder. There'll be 2 opposing different movements. One would be like going upwards, one would be going downwards. And then there's the relax and hold states as well. Each joint will have this different kind of feature. Like for example, with the elbow, it will either come inwards or bend outwards. As an elbow, it can't really bend backwards, if you know what I mean. So generally, all joints will work in this way. So let's start with the wrist. So the wrist is obviously the point connecting your hand to your forearm over here. And basically you can bend this either outwards or inwards. No upwards, no downwards, just that way or this way. So yeah, as you can see in the ghost form there, it can bend like that or like that. Either way, you probably won't be using this joint much as a beginner because it's more for slight tweaks to moves in the future. And on top of having those movements, you also get a grab effect. This will turn your hand into a rectangle, which is capable of grabbing your opponent and like basically sticking you to him like glue. As you can see here, I've basically broken his arm off there, but I still have his body intact here by this little circle thing. I don't know if you can see it very well there, but that indicates that I am grabbing his, well, now broken bicep. And as you can see, I can basically control him in this way. If I want to let go, all I do is double click the hand again and then basically let it go. And there he let go and now Yuke is falling to the ground. That's great. The next joint we're going to be looking at is the elbow. And obviously we all know where our elbows are. If you don't, you should probably go see a doctor. So yeah, our elbow is over here. And this can do 2 movements, either outwards or inwards, like you can see in the screen. So yeah. Basically, you'll be using this for different movements like getting into your opponent or stuff like that and grabbing him or things like that. So you want to bring it in like that or something, or just be careful to know when to use it and when not to use it, because it can get tricky and it can cause you to lose a few matches if you use it incorrectly. And as you've seen earlier, the shoulders can go up or down. Up, down, up, down. So yeah, you can have all your arms up or all of them down. That's wonderful. So yeah. And before we move on to the torso, let's talk about the neck. The neck is a weird muscle that oddly gets ignored very, very often. I barely use the neck myself. So basically the neck is for some basic just momentum controlling. If you just need like some extra spin to go forward or something like that, then you move your head forward. If you want to lean backwards more, you lean your head backwards. Basic logic, right? But basically it doesn't really affect that much. Now onto the torso, we have a series of 5 different joints. These 2 up here, this one, and this one over here. So yeah, basically we'll be starting off with the pecs. The pecs are the probably most important joints of your body because they control your general movement in fights. So yeah, your pecs will be the joints that go like this and move your arms forward. They will be controlling your punches, your saves, everything that you need to do, controlling your balance of your torso and upper body will come through your pecs. And these can be done to do something like this, or you can even make them go backwards, like that. And bring out your elbows, there we go. See? And then you bring your arms in again. Learn your pecs, guys. Next up, we have the chest. This one is directly below and connected to both pecs. This will basically rotate your chest in a way, as you can see like this. It will basically turn your body at a slight angle, as if you are reaching for something behind you in either direction. Be careful to note which way you're bending when you're using this, because sometimes you can bend the wrong way and basically fall over and lose. So you should really get to know how this one works, because this will play a very important part on punches and working with your pecs and everything like that. Next up, we have our lumbar. Our lumbar is located just over here under your chest. So it is the second one down from your pecs, over here, right in the middle of your body, essentially. So basically what this does is lean your body from side to side. This is very helpful for some times where you need to kind of bend in to reach the floor. Let's say you're falling off to the side here and you want to land on your hand. You don't want to go like this way and then your hand's not in the right place or something. So you basically use it to control your balance and stuff like this. Imagine he's walking on a balance beam. This would seem suitable, right? Him balancing with his arms out and swaying side to side. That's very great for balance. Our next joint will be our abs. And as you can see, they are right here, right above your ass. And they will be controlling your movements, leaning forwards and leaning backwards. As if here you're leaning forwards, let's say you're like kind of on your heels and you're leaning forward. That's kind of what it will do. Leaning backwards is like you're just like falling backwards and you're trying to grab something, you're like, oh god, I'm falling. So yeah, basically your abs will control your general back and forward motion like this, and that kind of looks disturbing. The next joints that we'll be discussing are your glutes, and these, also known as your ass, which I like to call it, will basically open or close your legs. Like, let me use an example here. Let me just jump up quickly. Okay, there we go. I'm up in the air. Now I can use this to open my legs or keep my legs very tightly knit closed together like that. Open, close, crisscross. Sweet. So basically this will help you get a more better balance into your tori in general. Our next joints will be connected to our ass, and these are known as hips. These ones right over here, right above at the top of your leg. So basically these will control your legs, making them go forward or backwards. This is highly used in kicks and sort of things like that. So let's say I do this, that can go backwards, it's still going backwards, there we go. Now that leg's going forward and I just did a kick. That's great. So managing to use your hips will help you learn a lot of kicks and keeping your balance very well along with your ass. Next up we have the knees, and obviously these knees are located in the middle of your legs over here, and basically they bend your knees backwards or forwards. This could work great as for kicks and stuff like just random things like that. I want to kick like that and do things like that, for example. That's just random basic kicks and stuff like that. Learning how to use your knees is very, very helpful, as it can help you do lots of many different things, and it will help you in the long run, especially. That's great. And lastly, which is not the least important, it's still probably one of the most important joints of the body, your feet. These things will control the stabilization you have against the ground. For example, if I raise them like this, it can help me jump, and it will throw me backwards like this, and I will essentially lose my balance. So basically not being on your feet or losing your balance of your feet can mean that your whole body will fall over to the side, obviously. I mean, who are you without your feet? Like a falling duck or something, I don't know. So yeah, basically you can control these to jump forward and do all sorts of kind of tricks and things like that. Just some simple move where I just jumped up and kicked you. That's wonderful. So as your lesson today, I want you to go in game, go into free play right over here, and go to your tori and basically practice each joint and understand what they do. If you have problems, watch the video again, go over each joint specifically and learn how they move and what they do. because that's going to be the quickest way to understand your Tori and basically make some cool moves. We all want to do cool moves, right? Like those guys whose replays get into the game. Yeah, it's amazing, right? So yeah, you want to do that too. So learn how to move your joints. Basically, using all 4 states, practice each one. Like for example, stay with like that. If you keep your legs straight and everything and relaxed, your body just falls over sideways and stuff like that. Basically, practice just every single joint and what they do in general. This will help you learn how to control your Tori, and in turn will help you to fight a lot better and save yourself from disqualifying inside matches and stuff. So catch me next time for the next video where we will be discussing how to challenge Yuke. See ya guys. Bye.